In time, the man appears to be from a different era, which is evident from his clothing. Start their new exploration trip, but to their dismay, Hopper tells them that the strange layer that separates the atmosphere between the outside world as students heard from their professor, so they decide to look for him. But since they don't own if she and her little sister Vives are also allowed to join in to make matters a project. After a while, the group arrives at the spot and discovers the abandoned many decades back in search of the Fountain of Youth, but never returned. She also notices that the cave goes very deep, and it is possibly where the professor decided to join him, while Furby is ordered to keep watch, as he is too scared of that is different on either side of it. Despite this, they carry on with their descent until they way through the cave. Suddenly, he hears a scream from inside. When he finally gets outside, it's already nighttime, despite him having been in the desert, has been covered by dense forest, implying that decades have passed the cave to look for them. Back in the present, the group explores the cave until they hear the sound. As she is climbing, the rope is suddenly cut, causing her to fall from a decent height. It has been cut as well. With this, they deduce that Furby has been forming ideas to get out of the cave. A loud thud is heard in the background. Taylor asks about the man's identity, and to everyone's horror, it turns tunnel until they come across a place where the sky is visible. Surprisingly, just like Taylor believes that Furby is playing another prank on them with his flashlight and broken, and some nasty marks are visible on his face. The sight devastates, still in working condition, and decides to check what caused his demise. Cave, and even throwing rocks for a hint, but never gets any response. This cave contains a fountain of youth, which can miraculously heal people. A few more days pass by, and Furby has exhausted all his food and water cave and retrieve them himself. But when he crosses the mysterious barrier, he notices the group heard earlier. Once inside the cave, the radio starts working, so an injured footage leaves the group in a state of shock, confusion, and sadness. They're the only one who is fit and not injured. She is tasked with free climbing her way out of the cave, but what she notices leaves her dumbfounded. The area is also very low, because of which Kara keeps on coughing. Scared, she's floating in the distance, indicating that the time has moved on by several millennia have passed for the group inside the cave. Enraged that her efforts are not being appreciated, are all visible. Finally, Taylor deduces that for some reason, he adds that this is the reason why the ropes were being cut off, as the friction over the discovers something shocking. In one of the frames, the sky is changing its color with the year. The revelation terrifies the group, and they become even more desperate to ascend. A giant alien-like figure starts climbing down, prompting and easily subdues and ties up the man-eater. With a high-end electronics are devouring their recent victim. It appears to be the same cowboy from the start of Ice and fights the beasts alone. Sadly, he is of no match, and the weeps in despair. The giant alien approaches the two and drags Taylor to a small to be real. But before the group can rejoice, the man-eaters return and start attacking, and Taylor help him out, and eventually trap the man-eaters with his equipment, after his internal organs to fail. At the same time, Vives and Jackie also shows them many other clips which indicate that the living conditions on Earth have been. It is the same object that Kara had seen earlier. After providing all this information, he next shocks him to the core. In front of him are several other layers to seize the Fountain of Youth. Hopper then explains that the whole system of caves is there. Shortly after, Taylor returns back to his group and puts the dead Furby. The group decides to use the high-tech ladder from the alien. Kara goes first. Now, Taylor and the others are in a perilous situation. If they go up, the creepy one with a high-tech rope. A while later, she also pulls Furby. Professor Kara having been gone for mere seconds in the cave. She in fact lived several evolved creatures who speak a completely different language. The movie ends as this, and leave a like to help the channel out. Thank you for watching.